Welcome back to another edition of USCFootball.com's film study. I'm your host, Shotgun Sprouling. This week we're taking a look at what happened in USC's 31-16 loss at number 13 Notre Dame. As a reminder, we've recently opened up our film study series to non-VIP members of USCFootball.com on our YouTube channel, but only VIP members get access to the videos the week following each game. So if you want the latest breakdowns without a delay, make sure you subscribe at USCFootball.com and become a member of the Peristyle, the largest community of USC fans on the internet. Been going for over 2 decades now. But make sure you also hit the like and subscribe button here on YouTube as well. Like USC, Notre Dame was coming off a bye week, and they made some adjustments to their offense during that time, going with some tempo and some shorter, quick passes to get the ball out of starting quarterback Jack Cohn's hands a little bit quicker. On the opening third down of the game, we see the Irish try to clear the picture up for Cohn, make it a little bit easier for him. They go with some motion, pre-snap motion. You're going to see Michael Mayer, who was out previously, comes back from an injury, one of their top weapons receiving. You're going to see him come down right here in motion. You're going to be able to see for Cohn, he's going to be able to look and say, okay, is anyone moving with him? Is it man coverage? No, this is likely a zone coverage because of the way that USC is going to adjust to this. Now, USC is going to be in a zone. They're going to drop Drake Jackson out here, actually, and they're going to try to confuse Cohn with their pressure, a little bit of zone pressure. So he's dropping out. Raylan Goforth's dropping out while these two guys are coming from the opposite side. But Cohn sees it as a zone. He's able to look to Meyer really quickly, just a stick route, just sit down right at the sticks, and he fits in right in the window in between the zone. Nice, easy pitch and catch on third down. Get Cohen some confidence going forward, get Mayer involved in the game, and a first down for Notre Dame. One of the things that USC has struggled with at times this season has been the quick runs to the outside, the jet sweeps, and Notre Dame's going to try to take advantage of that right here. You're going to see that they're going to bring the tight end in motion early. That's going to give the offensive line and the tight ends an idea. Okay, is it man or is it zone to help out with the blocking there as well? You're going to see Mayer come across, and then behind that, we're going to see Braden Lindsey come in the jet sweep motion. He's going to get the handoff here. Now, one of the things USC struggle with is setting that edge and forcing this run back inside. Well, Chase Williams is going to do that on this play. We're going to see him come up. He sees what the play is. He's going to do a good job of forcing the play back inside at the hashes so that one of the other defenders should be able to make a play. Now, USC right here, this should be the linebacker. You got Raylan Goforth. He comes unblocked. He's just got to get out here quicker. Chase Williams does his job to force it back inside. If Goforth is a step quicker, he's able to make that play. We can look at it from a different angle and see how this could be a play that USC should be able to get a stop on and not give up another first down. Instead, Notre Dame's going to get it and move it to midfield. We're going to see Raylan Goforth right here. You're going to see him have an opportunity because the offensive lineman is going to try to get to him, doesn't get there. He's just got to be a step quicker to get out there to make that play. If you're the unblocked defender, you have to make the plays. You know, they're saying that you're not going to make it. You got to, bow your neck and show that you can be the guy that's going to make the play. On this play right here, it's going to be a run to the left side. USC's interior defender is going to do a good job kind of stacking this up and not letting anything go. Kyron Williams being very patient. He's going to bounce this to the outside. Isaiah Polamalu, the wide receiver, actually comes inside and is going to clock him, actually put him on his butt. Isaiah Polamalu is a veteran. He's got to feel that one a little bit better. But now you got Isaac Taylor-Stewart. He's going to end up making this tackle, but he has an opportunity right here. If he breaks down and can get to Kyron Williams for a tackle for loss, a no gain. Instead, he lets Williams get outside of him, and then he's going to get a stiff arm to the face as well. It's going to end up being a 9-yard run on a play when USC could have stuffed it at the line of scrimmage. The interior guys did their part. The exterior guys, the guys on the edges, have to do their part as well. There's no reason why USC couldn't have won this game. It's a game of missed opportunities for the Trojans, and it starts right here on this 3rd and 1 play, an opportunity to get off the field, force a punt with a potential tackle for loss. Instead, they let Kyron Williams pick up the first down and continue the drive here. You're going to see there's going to be some motion early. They're going to try to confuse USC, try to move someone. Chase Williams is going to do a great job. He's going to dive right inside of the wide receiver trying to make this block. He's going to get there in the backfield. Now, he gets shoved in the back on this block, but you got to fight through it. You got to be able to tackle at the hips and below. If he hits him with the same force in the knees, Kyron Williams is probably going down, but instead he's able to spin out of this, and now instead of a loss of 2 yards, USC's trying to make the stop before the first down marker. Now, Isaac Taylor-Stewart is going to come up. He's got a great opportunity as well, but he goes inside and then he takes one step outside, and it's one step too many right there. Kyron Williams is able to cut inside, and suddenly, Isaac Taylor-Stewart makes the tackle, but it's after he picks up the first down. These small details, looking at the hip of the running back, determining where he's going to be going. If you can make that tackle behind the line of scrimmage, then Notre Dame ends up punting on this first drive. Instead, USC will continue to be on the field on defense. Kalen Bullock has a chance to be a special player at USC, and here's just an example of what he can do. We see him here in the middle of the field. He's going to be in man-to-man coverage with the running back, Kyron Williams. Kyron Williams is going to make some people look silly throughout this game, make some missed tackles, but Kalen Bullock is not going to let that happen on him. Kyron Williams is going to come out here. He's going to run a route into the flat. We're going to see him take off. Kalen Bullock's going to be reading his hips. All right, where's he going? He breaks out. Now watch Kalen Bullock. He was waiting, then he just closed. The closing speed here is terrific, and not only the closing speed, but being able to make the tackle when so many other guys have missed tackles this season. He turns what could be a big gain for Notre Dame, what they want in this situation, a one-on-one matchup with Kyron Williams against a safety, and instead he's going to get the tackle for a 1-yard gain. Notre Dame misses a field goal on its opening drive, so USC hypothetically could build some momentum with an early drive here and take the lead early. Instead, this first drive is going to fall apart from the very first play. Notre Dame's going to come out with a 3-3-5 defense, and they're going to actually drop 8 here. So just these 3 guys are going to be rushing. USC is going to try to go through, Keaton Slovis is going to try to go through his progressions. First, he's going to look for Drake London. You're going to see this defender over here is going to be underneath the London route, so that's not going to be open. He's going to go across to Gary Bryant and then eventually to Eric Cromanhook, and we'll see here that Gary Bryant is a little bit deeper routes. He's got to wait on it. Eric Cromanhook actually is going to run right into where the defender is. Maybe that's just to create some space for an opening for a window through the middle. But Keaton Slovis is barely getting to that next read when he's getting pressure from his right side. As he's going left or right, he's turning. That's almost a blindside hit for him. He actually takes a helmet-to-helmet hit from the defender here as he gets sacked. He does have this release valve, but he just doesn't get to that progression because of how quickly the pressure comes. Jonah Monheim gets beat, and Liam Jimmons doesn't get over in time to kind of help out here. So Keaton Slovis takes a sack on the first play as he's just going through his progressions. You can't give up sacks against drop 8 coverage. You just have to be better than that. You can't have 3 defenders be able to beat your 5 offensive linemen. Still on USC's opening drive, they're able to get 11 yards on second down to create a manageable 3rd and 7. And it seems like they're expecting another zone coverage. The first 2 plays, Notre Dame has dropped into zone. First a drop 8, and then just a regular drop 7 coverage. But here, you're going to get man coverage. They're going to look for 2 routes here. These 2 routes are sit-down routes where potentially if it's zone coverage, you're expecting these guys to be able to work their way open. That's not the case. And Slovis, after reading these guys and looking outside to London, he's already in trouble. There's a stunt up front by the defensive lineman, and they're able to create a ton of pressure here against the interior of USC's offensive line, and Keaton Slovis is just being overwhelmed by the pass rush of Notre Dame. He's trying to get out of there. He does a good job actually here to get rid of the ball and throw it away without taking the sack here, because he's just under fire immediately and doesn't have time to really go through all his progressions or to create a little bit more time for his receivers to get open after the initial play that they were looking for against potentially a zone defense wasn't there. Notre Dame had thrown a lot of vertical routes off of their play action throughout the season earlier this year. So this game, USC tries to back up. You're actually going to see they have 3 safeties here. They're in a 3-2-6 dime defense, 3 safeties deep. You got a nickel back in Jalen Smith. But notice how deep Jalen Smith and Isaac Taylor-Stewart are playing. They're both 7 or 8 yards off the receiver. The linebackers are in the box. You got 5 guys up here against the 5 linemen, and then you got your safeties going to come downhill. But this is going to leave these inside options here. Michael Mayer, the tight end, he's going to be open. This is going to be an easy pitch and catch. They just turn around at the sticks, throw it, and catch it right here. And USC can't really do anything with it because of how deep they're playing. If they were getting some pressure on some of these receivers, getting a little bit of bump at the line of scrimmage, you might see some different routes being run by Notre Dame. But, against USC, they're like, let's just take the quick, easy stuff. They get it here, 2nd and 4. They pick up a first down. And that's something they were able to do and get Jack Cohen in a rhythm early with some of these quick, easy throws with the way USC was playing their coverage. This is what it's supposed to look like for USC's defense. Jacob Lichtenstein is going to get penetration here in the middle. It's going to force this run to go to the edge. And when that happens, Raylan Goforth is going to cut across the face of the offensive lineman. And Chris Thompson at the top of the screen also does a good job of beating this block. Both these guys are out here. They're going to stuff this run at a 1-yard gain and not allow that run to get outside. And it all starts with the penetration in the middle, but then also working on the edges. It's a symbiotic relationship. Both sides have to do their part for USC to be successful. Notre Dame is going to take the early lead in the game because of some kind of miscommunication for USC. Joshua Jackson comes on because Isaac Taylor-Stewart's helmet comes off, and he's going to actually be playing man coverage over here, except everyone else is playing a zone, is going to be playing in drop 8. You also got Drake Jackson. The coaches are screaming at him from the sideline to tell him to go to the other side. He should be over here. They want him dropping into this shallow zone. They want Josh Jackson to be dropping to the top of this as well, and then USC would have this touchdown pass covered up, and Jack Cohn be looking elsewhere. But instead, you see Drake Jackson, he realized what the coaches are saying, so he starts screaming across the line, trying to get over to where he should be covering. And you're going to see Josh Jackson actually is going to chase his man inside, leaving the back of the end zone wide open. And that's where number 3 is going to come across the formation. It's a crossing routes pattern. He's just going to come across, and because Josh Jackson is going inside, Xavier Alford is covering his zone in the back. He realizes too late that there's no one over there. The guy is wide open. Notre Dame takes a 7-0 lead. USC is going to get some more drop 8 coverage from Notre Dame. Slovis is going to do a nice job right here of scanning right to left before he finds London for a catch. You see, looking outside, Taj Washington, the defender, was in the mix, so he goes to his next option over the middle. It's going to be Jude Wolfe, not open there. So he's going to eventually come back to the man at the bottom of the screen, Drake London, who seems to always be open. And we'll see him here. Works his way outside, works his way back inside. Slovis makes a good throw away from the defender so that Drake London can catch the ball and churn upfield without taking an immediate hit and gain an extra couple yards there. Great play right here. We'll see it from a different angle. Slovis is going to check right, check middle, go to the left, throw it away from the defender. Drake London able to make the catch and pick up 14 yards. USC's put together a nice drive and has a great opportunity to even the score, 7-7. Instead, they're going to take a big negative play on first down. Cortland Ford, the second-year freshman tackle, is just going to get beat by Isaiah Foskey. This is a veteran versus a rookie, basically, and you see the ability to use the long arm to keep Ford at bay and get around the outside. Drake London is going to be open in the middle of the field. Can't see him on this view, but he's right there for a 4 to 5, 6-yard gain on first down. A nice pickup to get the drive going inside the red zone. Instead, it's going to be a fumble, and USC is actually lucky here that Keaton Slovis is actually going to bat the ball to himself and be able to make the play. Drake London gets pushed in the back there as well. But these are the type of plays that set you back, and these are the type of plays that kind of derail everything for USC when they just can't get things going. When you lose a good 6-7 yards here on first down because you get beat around the edge, and Keaton Slovis is going through his progressions. That's his second read, and he's about to throw the ball, and unfortunately, it just doesn't have the time. First play of the second quarter during the quarter break, USC gets to choose what play they're going to go with here on this big 3rd and 8 play, and they draw up a pretty good play. If Keaton Slovis has a little bit more time, potential touchdown maybe. You see Jude Wolfe, though, is not going to get his chip block. He's going to be being asked to first chip and then go out into his route. He doesn't get a great block here on the defensive end, and the defensive end is going to blow everything up here because he gets inside of Jonah Monheim and goes in and just destroys Liam Jimmons. Both Brett Nealon is getting beat here. Jimmons goes inside when the defensive tackle goes outside, but then he gets hit from his defensive end as well. So now you end up with 3 defenders about to swarm Keaton Slovis, but at the same time, look at where Slovis is looking. He first looked outside to Drake London. He saw the interior defender has taken off to bracket coverage, to give bracket coverage to Drake London, but he looks over the middle. You got one-on-one coverage with Malcolm Epps because of the blitz that Notre Dame is bringing, and if he has time to throw it, there is a window right there. If he throws it to the inside of Epps, he should should be able to catch it and fall in for a touchdown. But instead, as he tries to get the ball out, you see 3 defenders are swarming around him, as well as Jonah Monheim is in the mix, hitting Keaton Slovis as well. So the ball gets fluttered up in the air, and it's a nice play from the linebacker, Bo Bauer, who had kind of been on a faux rush and kind of dropping back and creating a spy extra guy to be in the middle of the field. He makes the catch, and then he's going to take it 90 or 79 yards down to the inside the 5-yard line before Keaton Slovis gets out here and makes the play. But it all comes from the pressure, USC not being able to block it up front on a play that could have potentially been a touchdown. Stopping the run is all about penetration, which you're going to see from the top side with Nick Figueroa here. He's going to take the tight end, number 49, I believe it is here. Going to shove him back 4 or 5 yards. But keep an eye on Kana'i Mauga here. He's going to take a cut block from one of the offensive linemen, but instead of just taking the block and going down the ground and not getting up, he does a front roll out of it. He's actually going to do a somersault forward and then jump up and make the tackle and help out here. Just a terrific effort play from Kana'i Mauga instead of going down, especially as he gets his knee clipped right here. You see him flip over, you see him come to his feet, look up, find where the ball carrier is, and then help make the tackle there. All started with Nick Figueroa's penetration, but also takes those effort plays from someone like Kana'i Mauga to help make the stop as well. Notre Dame will consistently bring pressure on third and long situations in this game. USC makes an adjustment to the pass plays that they're calling after having the interception a little bit earlier. You're going to see Notre Dame is showing blitz once again, and Bauer, the one who made the interception, is actually going to fake that he's going to drop and actually loop around to try to get some pressure. Liam Jimmons is going to get beat on this play, and Keaton Slovis is going to get the ball away just in time. But the reason why he can get the ball away despite this initial beat right here on Liam Jimmons is because it's not a 12-yard pattern. It's not a 10-yard pattern. It's a quick slant pattern here from Drake London and then letting him go to work. He just absolutely fools the cornerback out here. You watch the hips on the cornerback, and you'll see that he opens up thinking that Drake London is going to go deep, and instead he cuts inside of him. Nothing the cornerback's going to be able to do with that route when he opens his hips up like that. And London makes the catch at about 4 yards and then picks up the rest of the yards just running through contact. But that's one of the adjustments USC had to make in this game, because when Notre Dame was bringing pressure, they were able to get home several times if Keaton Slovis didn't have a quick option available. In comparison, on 3rd and 11 down in the red zone, USC is going to run some longer routes here, and because of that, Keaton Slovis gets rocked once again. Another stunt pressure from Notre Dame. They're going to bring the blitz and bring 5 guys, but it's on the outside right here. What they had done on the interception, they're doing on the opposite side, on the left side of the offensive line. You're going to see this interior guy is going to run into Cortland Ford, push him off the block, and then immediately come, and he's going to get a pretty good hit on Keaton Slovis here as he tries to get to Malcolm Epps. If Epps gets his head around just slightly sooner, maybe he sees his ball and can adjust a little bit quicker, but because Slovis is forced to throw it faster than he wants to, the throw's a little bit high, he takes a big hit, and the ball sails on him, Epps can't get up to make the play. 3rd and 11 turns into a field goal attempt for USC. USC will get one more opportunity before the half in a scoring opportunity. The Trojans are now down 17-3, really need to put some points on the board. They pick up a 4th and 2. There's about 30 seconds left, and they choose to run the ball. Now, some people were very upset with this. Dante Williams said he didn't mind this play call. They've been able to get some yards, and this run gets them down inside field goal range. He is correct there. You go from being a 54-yard field goal now to being, a 47, 48-yard field goal. So now USC has an opportunity, but Dante Williams wanted to spike right here. He didn't want them to line up and try to run another play. If they try to immediately spike the ball, they probably have about 14 seconds left on the clock. Then you have a couple different options. You can throw the ball long, you can do some different things, and you can try to run an out pattern and pick up some more yards to make it a shorter field goal and still have a shot at the end zone. But instead, Keaton Slovis is going to call the play, and USC is going to run some deep routes. Drake London wide open here. Keaton Slovis is looking the other way, and that's a big question mark. In this type of situation, you got to look to your playmaker, and especially on this play, he ends up wide open. It could have been a huge play for USC, but Keaton Slovis can't take off running. You got to throw the ball away, even if there's pressure. You can't take this because he does get tackled. He does pick up the first down, so the clock is going to stop. However, because Drake London is running into the end zone, some of the other receivers are running in the end zone. Now you're trying to clock the ball, and they've got to sprint back 25, 30 yards, and it's just not going to happen. Notre Dame's going to set the change pretty quickly, and that becomes a wasted opportunity for USC, and obviously Dante Williams not happy about it. Second half, but yet another missed opportunity for USC. Instead of dominating the last 4 minutes of the first half where they don't get an opportunity on the final play, and the first 4 minutes of the second half where they're going to end up missing a field goal after this play, USC gets a 10-11 effort here. 10 guys do their job. You're going to see a corner blitz from Notre Dame. They're going to bring the pressure from the bottom side. You're going to see a double team from Drake London, which should open up the middle. USC is a good play call to take advantage of Kyle Hamilton, the All-American safety, being out in this game and leaving the game earlier. And Keaton Slovis is going to make a nice throw. So the offensive line is going to do a good job picking the pressure up. Vavae Malpea is going to do a good job picking up the blitzer from the outside. But you got to make the catch. Malcolm Epps, this is on his shoulder pad, so you got to make that catch. He made a nice catch earlier in this drive. Doesn't make this one. This one would have been a touchdown. Instead of 17-10, it ends up still being 17-3 after the missed field goal. Still 17-3, Notre Dame driving once again with about 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. USC has their dime defense on the field for this 3rd and 6 play. Not a big fan of their alignment here with 3 back 7 defenders on the weak side of this formation with only 1 tight end over there. Notre Dame's going to take advantage and run to the strong side and be able to pick up some yards before contact. Drake Jackson's going to do his part as far as reading the read option here. He's going to stay with the quarterback and then break back inside. Raylan Goforth's going to come across and help make this hit right here. Stuffs the play at about the 11-yard line. It should be marked at the 11. Instead, it's going to be marked at the 10-yard line, which changes the play dramatically on 4th down because instead of it being a 4th and 2, it's now a 4th and 1. You're going to see Notre Dame going to hustle to the line and going to be able to run a quarterback sneak. If it's 4th and 2, where it should be marked as the TV was correctly marking it, where they saw the play stopped, then maybe Notre Dame changes their play call. And one of the things that they wouldn't be able to do is be able to have this dime defense with Jalen Smith being the guy that's going to try to have to make this tackle instead of a guy like Kanai Malga who was on the bench because USC had been in that dime defense. Notre Dame is going to be able to run it right here. You're going to be able to run it off the edge. Jalen Smith can't make the stop, and Jack Cohen picks up the first down. Notre Dame is going to punch it in a few plays later and take a 24-3 lead. USC had been running a lot of inside zone in this game. Here's the outside zone. There's a little bit of a counter to it. Ingram's going to go run parallel until he finds some green grass and then take off upfield. You're going to see nice seal blocks here from both Liam Jimmons and Brett Nieline getting the linebacker here. You're going to see Jalen McKenzie is going to use the pass rushers' momentum against him and going to push him out of the play. And then nice job by Eric Cromanhook up here at the second level getting a block. And you see Ingram going to be taking it basically laterally here. And then as soon as he gets out to the edge, he's going to turn it upfield. And he's going to get a nice block as well from Gary Bryant Jr. up here at the top of the screen. He'll come into the screen here in just a second. We'll see that Bryant is doing his job. Taj Washington is doing his job. And because of that, instead of an 8 or 10-yard gain, suddenly this becomes a big explosive run for USC because everyone's doing their part. Now Ingram gets to the safeties. He's being chased from behind. He picks up 22 yards on this run. Here's a wrinkle that USC added during the bye week. They're going to motion Eric Cromanhook. He's going to come down here and act like he's going to block for yet another Drake London screen. USC has run those so well, but instead you see Cromanhook fake the block, take off. Slovis hits him in stride. He's going to pick up a nice gain here. This is something that USC can add. When you have your own tendencies, you got to find what they are and then find the counter to it, and that's something they did on this play right here. Here's another look at the impact of Drake London in the screen game that USC have been running. You're going to see that they're going to fake the screen out here. It's going to be a read option, actually a pass option for Keaton Slovis. He can hand it off to Keontae Ingram. He can throw it out here. But watch the inside defender. He's going to expect this. He's going to look for that block from Jude Wolfe, and he's going to clear out this entire space. And because of that, Keontae Ingram's able to walk into the end zone. A little bit of a help of a good block from Eric Cromanhook, and Cortland Ford gets out in front of the run as well. And because of that, Keontae Ingram's able to walk into the end zone because the defender was paying attention to Drake London and that block that Jude Wolfe might have for that potential screen. The final defensive play we're going to look at is a 3rd and 13 early in the fourth quarter. USC has an opportunity once again to get off the field. 3rd and long. Can you get off the field? You're going to get some pass rush. Not going to do much. They're just going to check it down to the running back. Give Kyron Williams an opportunity to make someone miss, and that's exactly what he does on this play. You're going to see the linebackers. Raylan Goforth is going to come inside looking at the tight end, and Kenai Malga doing the same thing. Goforth is going to see Kyron Williams and then go attack this play, and that's perfectly fine. You can give up a few yards on a 3rd and 13. You play the sticks, but you make the tackle right here. You make the tackle. Either one of the linebackers makes the tackle. It stops short, and Notre Dame has to punt. Instead, their drive continues, and that was something that has been happening frequently for USC this season. Just opportunities to make plays not happening for the Trojans. Thank you guys for joining another edition of USCFootball.com's film study with your host here, Shotgun Spratling. Really appreciate you joining us. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button like we said before. The final play we're going to look at is going to be USC's final offensive play. It's 4th and 22. You're going to try to throw something deep to Drake London. He's going to get extra attention. The one thing that maybe Keaton Slovis can do is he's got Gary Bryant Jr. down here open at about 5 or 6 yards. Maybe he can make a couple guys miss, but unfortunately for USC, it's not going to happen because the pressure is going to get there. Keaton Slovis is trying to give his receivers time to get downfield, and it's just not going to happen here. You need your 6-year running back to make a better block on the blitz pickup. You need your veteran offensive tackle, Jalen McKenzie, to be able to hold up against Isaiah Foskey. But because of neither one of those things happen, Slovis has no option but to turn and try to run to his left where he's not going to be able to get any momentum on a throw. If he can escape the pocket to his right, maybe he has a better opportunity to create a play or to create some more time for his teammates. Instead, he gets chased down by Foskey. Foskey's going to hit him, knock the ball loose. They're going to recover the fumble. Not going to really matter here, but that's going to be it for USC, and the Trojans fall to Notre Dame 31-16 on the road. But again, missed opportunity after missed opportunity in a game that had, potential for USC to make some more plays.